Welcome to our channel 1581. We want to finish the task in our generation, so we are gathered to encourage and to spur you to participate in M4 missions. M4 is going to places where there is no presence of church and Christ is not known. Today I want to talk to you about snake. The Bible talks about Satan coming as a form of snake to tempt Adam and Eve in Genesis 3. How the sin came into the world. God said, you will surely die when you eat of the fruit of the knowledge of good and evil. But the Satan came in a form of snake and said, no, you will not die. The day you eat of the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, your eyes will be open and you will be like God. Now, and sadly, Adam and Eve listened to the snake's cunning lies and decided to take the fruit of knowledge of good and evil, and sin came into the world. And that sin caused the separation from God and man. Now, Satan continues to lie to us and try to stop us from going to the ends of the earth. Now, there are 1581 unreached tribes are left. One of the statistics that I encountered, and that became our vision. Now, that was about 20 years ago. Now it should be much less. There are some statistics say that there are 66,000, 8,000 unreached tribes, but they are having too many small tribes are included in that statistic. So realistically, it's much less. A population of about 10,000, 5,000. These are small tribes that may be unreached tribes, but they are part of the bigger tribe. For example, in Guinea, there are about 40 tribes, but mainly three tribes dominantly spoken in this country in Guinea. So which means even though it's 40 tribes, most of tribes speak one of the languages, like Flar, Manika. Manika is my tribe that I am reaching out to and make disciples of. And then there's a Susu. So if you speak three languages and you reach out to them with these three languages, you will be able to reach them with the gospel of Christ. Now today I'm talking about physical snake. The other day I was preparing for the classes and I walked into one of the classrooms where we have supplies and noticed that there is a snake hanging on a window. I got scared, obviously. This happens once, maybe twice a year. Every time we have to catch them. If the snake runs away, we let them go, usually outside. But if it's inside the building, oh my, we have to catch it so that we can continue the work. And besides, we had the new missionaries arrived, and I didn't want the snake to have a problem at our school. So I need to catch it, but I was thinking, how am I going to kill this snake? And somehow, as I was thinking about this, looking at the snake at the window, and snake saw me, realized that I was there. And then he got more scared than I was. And he was slowly running away and got into the corner where there was a wooden box. And he went under the box and hid from me. And quickly I thought, okay, I'm going to get one of the bug sprays. The one that we get in Guinea is very potent, so I decided to spray it so that the snake may be intoxicated, right? So after spraying the bug spray and then left it for about 5 minutes, and originally I thought that when I sprayed the bug spray, I thought snake would come out of the other side, so I was holding the stick about to yank it to kill the snake, but apparently snake just hid inside the box and didn't come out. So after about 5 minutes, I flipped over the box and realized that snake was still hiding there. And I can sense the snake was intoxicated and he couldn't move. He was moving a little bit, but he wasn't moving well. And I knew it was done game. So I just used the stick to kill the snake. This happened time to time. And I realized that we need to be protected working in this part of the world. Now, N4 Mission is going far away from the city. Now, this is a mission that about less than 1% of the mission work is invested in the world. And usually there's no running water, no electricity. And we are living among the wild animals, but animals are more scared of us than we are scared of them. Just like the snake, he realized that I was there, and he was hiding from me and tried to run away. That happened. Let me tell you another story of what happened when we just arrived in Guinea, and natives built a mud house for us in the beginning, and we were living there. And one night, one of the neighbor came to talk to us, and we had fellowship, and she left. About 3 minutes or 5 minutes later, she returned, and she was frightened. I was wondering why she was frightened, and she kept on saying quietly, "Sa ye sa." Now, sa can mean both a sheep or a snake. If it's a sheep, she shouldn't be afraid of the sheep, right? So I knew right away it was a snake. Apparently, this one was a cobra. I took a flashlight and went towards where she saw the snake. This cobra was about 7 foot, maybe 8 foot long, and it was very thick. It was almost thick as my arm, and he was marching towards our house. I got scared. It was so big. And I was gonna pick up a stick, but I couldn't find any stick that was long. And I was scared, so I looked around to something to throw at it, and I saw a log, a very heavy log. So I picked it up and threw it, and it hit the side of the snake. And when it hit the side of the snake, this cobra stood up almost like 5 feet high. And he was looking where the enemy was. And then fortunately, he came down. Instead of coming towards our house, he went away from the house. Oh my goodness. I was so happy that snake went away from our house. Our children were 3 and 1.5, so they're very young. And they always play on our, front yard among the village kids. So we wanted to catch it, so I called our neighbors, the young man, to come over to help us. And they searched the area left and right, but the snake just ran away into the woods. That's what happened with the snake incident. One more event that happened, it happened to our daughter Chelsea. We did a homeschooling for our children at home. So in the morning after the breakfast, they were going to the room, and this is Christian curriculum, so they will sing a hymn together, and they will go through the regular materials, English, reading, writing, math, and things like that. And about an hour later, I heard a scream from the Chelsea's room. I knew something was wrong. So I ran to the room, and to my shock, there was a very big snake that covered the whole window, going back and forth. And the snake was looking right at Chelsea, and Chelsea saw it when she lifted up her head, and she was frightened. I was shocked too. We did have a screen so that snake could not come into the house. But can you imagine seeing a snake about feet away or 2 feet away from you? Because her desk was right at the window. So quickly I went and brought the bug repellent and I sprayed it. After I sprayed the bug spray, I saw this snake turn towards the woods. Literally, it flew. You've probably seen a Kung Fu Panda with the children. In that movie, there's a snake. It flies in the air. I saw this snake just turned around from the window, flew out away from the window, and he jumped to the next tree. I was like shocked. We take all the risk to come because Christ commanded us. And knowing that Christ will protect us. We came by faith. If we live by sight, we will leave this place and go to America. If I had a choice, even now, people ask, if I had a choice, would you do it over again in Guinea, in Africa? I would say Africa would be my last choice. I'd rather be in the beachfront somewhere in California. I love water. I love swimming. I love scuba diving. But Christ commanded us to go and make disciples of all nations. When I became a Christian, I knew that I need to follow, denying all to follow, all surrender. We hear about these challenges. We sing about these, and we need to. If we do, we can take this gospel to the ends of the earth. Now, going back to the snake in the Bible, Satan, he's a thief. He will steal, kill, and destroy. John 10:10 says it. He will try all he can to lie to us. It's okay, do as much as, where your comfort zone is. God would not ask you to do things dangerous, Why risk it all? You need to be wise in your decisions. Go, but not go to the ends of the earth, But Christ is stretching his nail-pierced hand and says, would you come? Still now he's looking for a man and woman who would take the call. Take the call to follow. We need to listen to his voice, not the enemy, who is trying to stop us. Spiritual war has been won on the cross when he died and rose from the dead. There is no one in this world, nothing in this world is greater than he, Jesus Christ, who is in you. Holy Spirit that is in you, that empowers you to go and make disciples of all nations. Mission is not what we can do. Recently we had a few new young 20s came to serve with us for a short time. One came for 1 year. They will keep on saying things like, I don't think I am made to be a full-time missionary. I am so small. I am not excellent enough to be a missionary. And I respond to them, I feel the same way. If God did not call me to go and to do what God did, I would not be able to see God's work in this place. God did it. He built a mission center in Sambia village, in a rural area where the snakes are all around us. The enemy that is trying to stop us by all means. I mentioned to you before, if you know me long time, there was one teacher who died in our school because of malaria. Now, in spite of all that, we knew the cost. but we knew, you know, the joy of following Christ midst of all the trials and difficulties. When I killed a snake, I felt really good, you know, and I felt victory over this snake. I thank God that God gave me that wisdom to spray the bug spray. So next time, if you need to catch a snake, look for bug spray, potent bug spray, and then spray it the area and wait for about 5 minutes. Now, thank you so much for praying with us, and God bless you.